Imagine a city in 1518 caught in an extraordinary and bewildering phenomenon. Welcome to Strasbourg, where history recorded one of its most mysterious events, the Dancing Plague. Between 50 to 400 people found themselves trapped in a relentless dance, their feet moving uncontrollably for weeks, from July to September. What could possibly cause such bizarre behavior? Historians and scientists have puzzled over this for centuries. John Waller, a notable historian, suggests an intriguing explanation: stress-induced mass hysteria. Imagine the desperation in a region plagued by famine and disease, leading to a collective psychological breakdown. Another theory points to ergot poisoning. This mold, growing on damp rye, produces substances akin to LSD, causing hallucinations and convulsions. Some believe the cause was rooted in religious or spiritual beliefs. Could it have been a ritual or a curse from that era? And then there's the controversy over the deaths. Did people dance to their demise? The records are unclear, leaving us with more questions than answers. Despite numerous theories, the true cause of the Dancing Plague of 1518 remains shrouded in mystery, marking it as one of history's most peculiar and intriguing episodes. July 1518, Strasbourg. A solitary figure, Frau Trophea, starts to dance fervently in the streets. This was no celebration. It was the beginning of something inexplicable. Replace me with your own words. Her relentless dance, lasting a week, becomes a magnet for others. Soon, 36 are swaying to this silent rhythm, entrapped in the same mysterious condition. By August, the dancing contagion had grown. 400 souls, young and old, were now locked in this dance of despair. Their movements were far from joyous, echoing exhaustion and involuntary distress. Reports from the era speak of serious consequences. Exhaustion led to collapses, even deaths from strokes and heart attacks, as the city watched in horror. The authorities, puzzled and powerless, couldn't fathom the cause or cure for this bizarre spectacle. As summer gave way to early September, the dancing dwindled. In a final act of desperation, the survivors were taken to a mountain shrine, seeking divine intervention to end their ordeal. The Dancing Plague of 1518, a blend of history and mystery, leaves us pondering. Was it a religious ecstasy, a medical enigma, or mass hysteria? Even now, this extraordinary event remains one of history's most elusive puzzles. Our story traces back to a single woman, Frau Trophea, whose solitary dance on a Strasbourg street sparked an unprecedented chain of events. Like a flame igniting a forest, her solo act rapidly turned into a large-scale phenomenon. Soon, the streets were filled with hundreds, each trapped in their own relentless dance. In a bid to control the chaos, Strasbourg City Council turned to physicians for answers. Their unusual prescription? More dancing. They believed it would cure the strange affliction. Guild halls transformed into makeshift dance floors, with musicians playing and strong men aiding the exhausted dancers. A desperate attempt to manage the crisis. However, this measure backfired. Fear and superstition took root, with many seeing the plague as a divine retribution from St. Vitus. The city council, in response, banned all public dancing and music. In a final effort to end the plague, the dancers were led to the shrine of St. Vitus. Donning red shoes marked with crosses, they engaged in prayers and rituals, seeking absolution. With this ritualistic intervention, the epidemic gradually ceased. Believed to have been forgiven by St. Vitus, the afflicted found their peace. Yet, the true explanation behind the Dancing Plague of 1518 remains veiled in history's shadows, an enigma that continues to intrigue and mystify. The Dancing Plague of 1518 was not an isolated event. History reveals a recurring pattern of similar phenomena across medieval Europe. In the 11th century, Kolbeck, Saxony, witnessed its own episodes of dancing mania. Back then, such events were often seen through a supernatural lens attributed to demonic possession or divine wrath. Moving to the 15th century in Apulia, Italy, we encounter a peculiar case. A woman bitten by a tarantula displayed convulsive dancing, a symptom that gave birth to the term tarantism. This mysterious condition had a unique remedy. The cure involved the victim engaging in a specific dance, often described as shimmying. To aid in recovery, specific music was played, believed to have therapeutic properties. Esteemed scholars like Athanasius Kircher endorsed these practices, highlighting the medical and cultural significance of these events in that era. From Saxony to Italy, these instances paint a picture of an era where dancing manias were part of a complex tapestry of cultural, religious, and medical phenomena, deeply intertwined with the beliefs and superstitions of the time. Amidst the chaos of the dancing plague, a grim question looms. Did the dance claim lives? The answer is shrouded in historical debate. Some chronicles suggest that as many as 15 people per day succumbed during the height of the plague. Yet, these reports are mired in controversy. Intriguingly, the primary sources from Strasbourg in 1518 are silent on the death toll, leaving a gap in our understanding of the plague's true impact. Historian Ned Pennant rare remarks on the absence of a definitive death count. In contrast, John Waller, delving into accounts written post-event, suggests the possibility of numerous fatalities. Adding to the mystery is the uncertainty over the identity of the first dancer and the total number of participants. Was it Frau Trophia or an unnamed woman who began this enigmatic dance? Thus, the story of the dancing plague remains as elusive as ever. While theories of fatalities circulate, the lack of concrete evidence from the time keeps this historical puzzle unsolved, an enduring enigma of the past. In our quest to understand the dancing plague of 1518, modern theories have emerged, one of which points to a case of mass food poisoning. The ergotism theory suggests that this bizarre dancing mania was triggered by ergot fungi, a mold found on rye, producing substances like ergotamine, closely related to LSD. This theory argues that consumption of ergot-contaminated grains led to hallucinations and uncontrollable dancing, a physical manifestation of ergot poisoning. However, historian John Waller presents a critical view. In his detailed analysis, he challenges this theory on several grounds. Firstly, the physical feasibility. Could those afflicted by ergotism really dance non-stop for days? The likelihood seems slim. Secondly, the uniform reaction. The ergotism theory struggles to explain the consistent reaction among hundreds to the psychoactive effects of ergot. And then, geographical inconsistencies. Why did these outbreaks predominantly occur along the Rhine and Moselle rivers, areas with different climates and crops? While ergotism has been implicated in other historical events, its application to the dancing plague is mired in debate and inconsistency, as Waller's research highlights. So, the mystery deepens. The ergotism theory, while compelling, confronts significant challenges, leaving the story of the dancing plague of 1518 open book, filled with questions yet to be answered. As we delve deeper into the mystery of the dancing plague, a compelling theory emerges: stress-induced mass hysteria. Characterized by a wave of bizarre behavior sweeping through crowds, this mass psychogenic illness saw countless individuals caught in a whirlwind of continuous, uncontrolled dancing. Historian John Waller offers a critical perspective, suggesting this was a form of stress-induced psychosis. The backdrop? A region gripped by starvation, disease, and deep-rooted superstitions, placing it within the broader context of early modern Europe, particularly in Alsace. We see a time marked by extreme hardships, both physical and psychological. The term chorea, derived from the Greek chorea meaning dance, aptly describes these involuntary movements. Similar episodes, known as St. Vitus's dance or tarantism, echoed through the Middle Ages, often in the shadow of plagues and widespread distress. Interestingly, the dancing plague of 1518 wasn't a standalone event. The region witnessed similar occurrences, suggesting a recurring pattern possibly linked to the unique stressors of the era. This theory proposes that the collective psychological turmoil of the people manifested physically in the form of this enigmatic dancing. Yet, even with this explanation, the dancing plague of 1518 remains an extraordinary puzzle, a dance of history shrouded in the veil of time.